This is the second part of the multi-view project, part 1. We are going to create a drawing out of this part. So our drawing should line up with the planes that we chose. So the right side, the front side, and the top. And I've actually already gone and done that, but I'm going to create another one just to kind of show you. But this is what we are looking for. So your top view, right, we have half-inch marks, inch and a half inch for the square. We have the overall dimensions, the 3 inches, and the height over here is 4 inches. So our top, our front, and then our right view. I also chose to show the hidden lines. You can do that by right-clicking on it, and then hidden lines, there'll be show hidden lines. Now it's hide because they are showing. And then I scaled down the isometric view. We can show a shaded view if you want. This isn't really too this isn't the most important part of the drawing. These are the most important parts of the drawing. I'm also going to note here that this line is the midline. This middle line is symmetrical. So I'm just going to type in sim for symmetry, and I drew this line by edge to edge center line. So if you just click on that, click on this edge, click on that edge, you'll have a center line that goes through. Notice when you're doing these things, I try to not have anything overlap. So you want it to be clean. So this is kind of like the art in drafting in CAD and drawings. So even this right here bothers me a little bit because it's not really it's overlapping, right? It's overlapping where your lines are, where the object lines are. You don't really want that. You want to stay away from that. So we'll bring that up here a little bit. Another thing that you try to avoid is having like a bunch of things, like so this dimension is overlapping with that dimension. You don't want that, so get that out here. And you just try to keep it as clean as possible. Notice up here, right, nothing's overlapping on the border. None of my dimensions are overlapping on the border. The title block down here, we're creating this drawing 9-1. 9 stands for the remote day. 1 is project 1 for these multi-view parts. Scale is 1-2. This should be your title block, multi-view exercise part 1, CAD CAM, Bristol Plymouth Technical School. And then these actually get automatically prompted in. The material is aluminum. Notice third angle projection because we are here in the States, and that is our projection. The scale, if the scale is different, right? If the scale is different, it is noted. So it's different here, so it is noted. And that's sort of what I want you guys to create. I'm going to show you, go ahead and show you how to do this. I'm not going to go crazy with the dimensions like I did here, but I'll show you the general procedure to do it. So what you're going to do is click on this plus tab. I also deleted the assembly tab because there's no need for it because we're not creating an assembly, so feel free to do that. And all you do to get rid of something, you just right click on the tab and then delete. So I renamed it 9-1. So again, create drawing. We're going to use an ANSI, ANSI, American National Standard of Instruments. That's what we're going to be using. ISO is International Standard. We use ANSI most of the time, and most shops around here in America use ANSI. So click on that, click on OK. You may have to search for that, but I believe it should be automatically sort of pop up in your when you create the drawing. So then, since we created this and our part studio is here, our part is here. So you can incorporate sketches, which is also kind of a cool feature if you want, but we don't need to do that. So we're just going to click on this part, and the view orientation starts out front. View scale is 1:2, and then you just click in the drawing area that you want your part, the front part. Click here, and then just like in SolidWorks, you can move up and it will create the the top view. And then if you want to create another view, you're just going to click on this again and then move over to the right side. So you have a right side view. Click and it'll make it. If you want to get this isometric view, you're going to click here and then move out into the corner, and it automatically creates that isometric view for you. Feel free to leave it at 1:2. I changed the scale. I think I made it a little smaller. I don't know. I think it looks a little nicer that way. So to make it smaller, you're just going to right click, click on it. Okay, hit escape and then right click, show shaded view to get the shade. Double click on the part and then move down to 1:3. Check it off, and it automatically puts that scaling in there, and now you're ready to start dimensioning. So to dimension, you're going to come up here and click on this dimension. There are other dimensions you can use: chamfer dimension, angular point, radial. But this is a square part, so we don't have to really worry about anything else. So just this regular dimension tool is going to do the trick. You always want to get your generic sizes out of the way, the overall sizes of your part, and then you can go in and make all these other sizes. And remember, like I was saying before, don't have things overlap. It's like, so I'm not going to put this out here or in here, or try to make your dimensions clean, because this is not for you, right? This is potentially for someone who is going to try to make this part. So they're not going to be in your head. They're not going to be, they didn't design this part. They have to read this drawing and create the part. So you need to make it as clear and as concise as possible. We also want to include hidden lines in these views, since there aren't going to be many and it's not going to confuse the drawing. Right click, show hidden lines, and then on this one we're going to show hidden lines. And this up here will not have any hidden lines, so we don't have to worry about showing them there. So once you put all of the dimensions, remember you need to put all dimensions in here. If you choose to make the assumption that these are symmetrical, you need to state that it is symmetrical. So you can, generally people would, like a machinist that's reading this drawing, would make that assumption, but it's always good to add it in there so that they know. And I'm going to add a note. And symmetry. Escape to get out of that function, and I don't like that there, so I'm going to put it down here. And that just kind of tells me, right, that everything, so I'm not going to have to, if this is a line of symmetry, right, I don't need to dimension this and then dimension this, right? That's redundant. I don't need to dimension this triangle and then also dimension this triangle. Again, redundant. So if I state that there's symmetry along this line, I can that takes away half of my dimensions I would need to include. So it's a good thing to include. There are also symbols for symmetry and geometric tolerancing. This is the symbol for symmetry. I looked around and I couldn't find it in here. I mean, it would be an easy enough symbol to make. So, I mean, I guess I can just go ahead and do that. So, we will include a note, and instead of the writing symmetry, let's make the symbol. And the symbol is a short line. I guess it's kind of like this is the center line, right? And then these two lines are symmetrical. I guess that's what the symbol sort of stands for or looks like. So I will create a little line here. Another line, longer line here. And then I'm going to copy this line. So select this line. Control C, Control V, and I have my line. And then I'm going to line it up. Now I'm going to move all of these over here. Oops. Okay, there. And then what the heck? Oh, maybe there is another line in there. Okay. And put it here. I don't like that. Play with it a little bit. Alright, that looks good, and then we can kind of move this over. Oops. Alright, delete that, create another note from here to there. Check it off, and now we have a symbol that tells us that that line is the line of symmetry. So once you dimension it all, so again, this is kind of what I'm looking for, get all your dimensions in there, symmetry line, make sure you label this all appropriately, material aluminum, your name and date should automatically be prompted, and then you'll be good. I'm just going to get rid of this one. So this is your multi-view project 1 document, and you have your part, and now you have your drawing. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.